Hello everyone, I'm Nives Teresi, moderator of TESOL Italy, and I'd like to welcome you to this session of TESOL Italy's 47th convention. Our speaker for this session is Mariana Lazzaghe. Mariana is an ELT and Spanish teacher, a teacher trainer and materials author. She has been mentoring, training, tutoring and coaching many teachers since 2004. Her main areas of interest and research are positive classroom management, cooperative strategies, peer observation, learning how to learn, CLIL, and critical thinking. The title of Mariana's session is CLIL Activities Using Online Resources for Students 7 to 12. Mariana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nives. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm going to share my presentation. As Nives said, my presentation will be around using online resources to create on-spot CLIL activities. So my first question is, do you use internet during your classes? I imagine most of you primary teachers or middle school teachers. So my question is, do you have online access to resources? You have internet access, and do you use it? Why and what for? So good morning, Maria Antonietta. Good morning, Elisa. Okay, do you use online resources during your lessons or not? Can you write in the chat your answers? No answers. Okay. Yes, you use them, Elisa. And how? Yes, we have a TV panel with the internet. Okay, great, Julia. And how do you use this internet for? I mean, what do you usually do with internet when you use it in the class? Can you just be more specific, please? So Nives, too, you use digital resources for your lessons during lessons. This is what I am asking. Do you? Yes? I imagine you do, yes. Okay, to show songs and videos. Thank you, Julia. So it's like an entertainment moment for your primary school schoolers. Or we use the digital textbook and the online resources. Yes, of course, but this is a different thing. What we are going to talk about today is using internet, searching things on Google during the lessons and create activities, CLIL activities on spot. Okay, related with vocabulary content, etc. Okay, excellent. Here I have prepared a mind map. By the way, this is a Jamboard, which is public. You can have this link for future reference after this session. It's not a PowerPoint. So this is another resource that I will tell you, I highly recommend you use with your students because it's easy to use, very intuitive, and it's a collaborative resource tool for your students. So using the internet in the primary classroom has many benefits. I've chosen some of them. One is to support teachers in classroom management, for example, to change pace or dynamic of the lesson. Maybe you have prepared a fabulous plan, but children don't follow, they are tired, they are bored. And so you can change pace by showing something on the internet. You Google on spot, show it, and the lesson changes completely immediately. That could be one way to do it. The other one is to develop communication and connectivity through, for example, shared documents, Jamboards, Padlets, or if you have, for example, other tools within your school, like classrooms, Google workspace, a safe space. I'm not talking about social media here, but a safe space where you can communicate with your students, where you can encourage them to do homework, to do research, and to communicate with others, speaking or chatting activities, so on. The other benefit is that on the very spot, on the moment, you can find authentic, interactive, dynamic resources, even for self-development. Because, for example, if you don't remember the pronunciation of a word or the spelling of a word, you can transformate that moment of searching things on the internet like didactic moment for children. Let's look up words on the dictionary. Let's look up words on this resource. And at the same time, you are modeling a positive use of the internet for educational purposes. Another of the benefits is to access to more information and variety of sources. So if you are talking about specific content topic, like in CLIL, geography, science, math, etc., accessing the internet and looking up things there, you can have also a variety of sources, and you can also plan activities around that variety of sources with a group of students. For example, take notes on one source, and another group of students take notes on a different source, and then they compare answers. You can also raise a debate, do speaking activities around all this. And of course, internet is fabulous for self-study and for homework. I mean, I know that many teachers don't like Wikipedia, but Wikipedia is not the only source on the internet. So of course, what we have to do before asking children to study on the internet or to research on internet as homework is to provide them with the right links, with the right resources. So in that way, they can access safe spaces and they can find specific information that we are looking for. So this is a general idea about why I personally love using internet in the primary classroom. Then specifically, using the internet for CLIL in the primary classroom. So this was the idea of this talk, of this presentation. So internet, as I said, is an endless source of information and even pictures and videos and sound and so much. So there are really many activities that we can tailor around resources found on the internet. So, for example, one of the things that we can do using internet is to present content and language items. Let's say, for example, if we are talking about environmental issues, you want children to become aware of the environment, how to keep it safe, how to nurture and care for it. There are plenty of pictures on the WWF site or many other resources online that you can show pictures, elicit language, extend language, and so on. Then with these pictures or these videos, you can also activate prior knowledge. So this is one of the basic rules of CLIL lessons, to dedicate part of the lesson to brainstorming, to see how much children know about that topic and in English about that topic. So from there, just showing pictures or a video or listening to a song, if you like, or a game online, this is kind of a springboard for many activities of brainstorming that can be individually, done individually, or can be done in pairs or in small groups. Then from there, you can also ask them to classify words and analyze what they have seen, debates, oracy, etc. Of course, as I said before, you can also improve listening, comprehension, and communication skills through videos and pictures. Listening, most importantly, there are many activities that you can do around very short videos that you can find on the internet. Many of them have subtitles, but there are also activities pre-listening, where children, before listening, they can prepare, they can predict what they are going to watch or listen to. And during the listening or the watching of the video, they can also write words, they can write sentences, structures, just by listening from that video. And these materials, as I said before, they are authentic, they are not graded. So the language is more advanced, of course, can be also more challenging. But in CLIL lessons, we have always to remember that one of the C's, the most important C's, is cognition. So activities needs to be a bit challenging for our students. It's up to us, of course, to prepare an activity around it and to tailor it to the level of our students, of course. Another thing that, of course, I think we can do with the internet resources is to extend vocabulary and content knowledge. So even if we are doing the solar system in science, of course, they've been doing that. And then we have some activities on the solar system. Then we go on the internet and extend the vocabulary they know, apart from just naming the planets and the sun and key vocabulary. So we can also give them the opportunity to learn new words, new structures, to absorb more information and to be exposed to English in a real context. And of course, internet is excellent for follow-up activities like homework, researches, group work, posters, making presentations. I mean, they can gather information, select information from the internet, and then present something which can be very, very useful in the classroom, not only just as decoration, if we are talking about posters or things that can be also shown in the class, but to make them speak about what they have read or write about what they found on the internet. So let's get practical. In this case, I have chosen, as you can see, this is the link. You can go to the link. This is the WWF website, the British one, UK. And there is you can find plenty of materials and even lesson plans on these websites around saving animals, endangered animals. And this particular, it's about plastic in the oceans. Plastic is not fantastic. This is the title of this poster, kind of infographic. So by showing these pictures, of course, the CLIL areas here are civics, geography, science, because from here you can talk about, of course, the oceans, you can talk about the marine animals, the ocean animals, and you can also talk about geography. I mean, where they are located, where is the sea reef, and so on. From here, you can start brainstorming, eliciting language, ideas from children about, as I said, about the animals, but also about the use of plastic. Where is plastic? Plastic is in every day life. I mean, we see plastics everywhere. We use plastics for almost everything at home and outside home, at school. So here the discussion can be very, very rich. Of course, it depends on the level of the children and the class we are talking about. You have to simplify language, you have to recast. So if they speak to you in Italian, you of course have to translate in English and repeat in English and ask them to drill certain phrases or keywords in English. A lot of whiteboard work or blackboard work, or whatever you are using in your school. So brainstorming, vocabulary, doing a lot of work on their notebooks. But this is just from nothing. I mean, we don't need photocopies, we don't need cards, color cards. I mean, it's just from an image which is very well presented and rich in language and content, that you can do really many things just to start with, brainstorming. Then, again, on this activity, you can also extend vocabulary and content. So seeing, I mean, all the branches, for example, you can create a mind map, as the one I did in my first slide, and see how many topics they can talk about around plastics, oceans, animals. And so you will be very surprised. I mean, if you haven't used these techniques, you will be very surprised because children know lots of things and lots of words in English. So you can also, I mean, make Venn diagrams and see plastics, ocean, land, animals, endangered animals. So you can extend this topic endlessly. And as a follow-up activity, what you can do, for example, is to ask children in small groups or individually, as you prefer. It depends how you have prepared your lessons and all the interaction patterns in your lesson plan. To prepare, for example, a poster like this, if you want them to make it in the classroom. So some children can draw pictures, some others can write words, and I'm talking about the lower levels and the younger children. Or with older students, if we are talking about the 5th grade to the 3rd grade at middle school, they can prepare presentations, or they can use Canva or other platforms where you can create flyers, infographics for free. You just need to register. Hopefully these days, most children have, or many children have, emails that are related to the school with the name of the school, so they don't need to put any important information about their family names or addresses, etc., but just to connect to these platforms through Google Education. And in that way, they can create presentations with PowerPoint, or as I said, Canva, or even with Word docs, and creates a nice infographic with pictures and text. And this could be one possible follow-up activities. Then this is another activities around another platform. This is called, this is an Erasmus project done by many different partners. One is Universidad de Córdoba. There are some Sicilian schools on this partnership, and they have created these videos that they are free on the internet and that you can use in the classroom. They have two main areas, social and natural. And so I have chosen one from the natural, and they are divided in 3 different levels: basic, intermediate, and advanced. These videos are free for use in the classrooms. And of course, in this case, it has to do with science, environment, and this is for a lower level. And here we have what I have thought, the video that you can find at that link in the Jamboard. It's about vertebrates. And so you can use this video to present, if you haven't done yet vertebrates, to present these kind of animals, what are their characteristics, their features. Then you can also do an activity where they have to classify animals after this video and say which are vertebrates, which are mammals, which are birds, etc. Who live in water, who live in land. And so from there, again, a springboard of ideas and activities. The videos are very simple. The language it's also very simple. So it's very accessible for all children. And you can also split the video in different moments if you prefer, just to make it easier, the comprehension. And as I said, through doing this activity in the classroom, you are improving listening, comprehension, communication skills through videos and pictures. This was one of the items I mentioned in my second slide. And I have to add that not only you are improving the listening skills of your students, but also your own listening skills and your own pronunciation and your own vocabulary. So using internet in the classroom, I think, is one of the best resources for us teachers to improve our language skills, because we are also accessing resources that are up to date, as I said, that they are authentic. We don't have to rely too much on the internet, of course. There are mistakes, there are plenty of things that, of course, we have to filter before giving it, delivering it to our students. But it's an endless resource of knowledge and ideas. At least for me, it is like that. I'm quite internet dependent, I must say. And talking about the future of our classes, of our classrooms, of our schools after pandemic, I think this is the present and it's going to be the future, because the internet will, how can I say, not invade, but they are going to be more and more present in our classrooms. Hopefully, I really hope so. And we teachers will have, how can I say, the task, the duty to provide a good model on how to use it, instead of just using it for entertainment. But I think it's a great source of knowledge and ideas. So this was it. It was really short. I expected to have an audience, a bigger audience, so we could interact. But here we have more time for questions. And if there is any of the people here, my children love the vertebrate song. They want to watch and listen to the video every day. Thank you, Julia. Does anyone want to ask questions about the presentation? You can keep the link for future reference. I have my own blog where you can download activities. That's my email. I'm also in ANILS. I'm the coordinator of the group. I'm also part of TESOL Piemonte. I'm not the coordinator, but I am a member of TESOL Piemonte. So if you want to contact me and you want to share things with me, these are my details, okay? So anyone? Hello, Maria Antonietta. I know that you all of you use resources online, but I have met many teachers along the years, and even now after the pandemic, that they are a bit resistant to online. It's like after pandemic, they are kind of fed up of the online, and so they avoid it. But I think that, in my opinion, this is wrong, because children are, as we know, they are digital natives. They are very familiar with the internet and many digital resources, so we can't avoid it in the classroom. in reality, we have to make it purposeful and meaningful for children. I mean, the internet, it's a great resource. We have just to teach them to use it the best way we can. But please do not avoid it. There are many teachers, I imagine you do know teachers in many classes in our country that they are very resistant still today after pandemic. Even more than before, like, no, only presenza. But yes, now I think the new model is blended, which means using the digital in the classroom. So we are in presence, but using digital resources to enlarge knowledge, to enlarge what we know and what we need to know. And we save a lot of time. So our role has changed. Now we facilitate and we make things possible for children to be accessible and safe, most importantly. Okay, yes, my timing was good, Nives, wasn't it? So questions. I see we are very few people in the room. Margherita. I would like to know if you, those who are here, if you are taking something away from this session. One takeaway, have you learned something new or have you confirmed something that you knew already? Can you write in the chat, please, if you have something to say? Q&A, okay, I'm going to the Q&A. Are there a list of official and safe sites for different contents? Well, I'm afraid not, Julia. There are not lists. You have to do your own research. You have to find your own resources and make sure that you can use them in the classroom. Unfortunately, not. That's one of the problems of the internet, that is so vast, so varied. So this is our task, to filter the information that we can deliver in the class. Anyone else would like to ask questions or tell me if you are taking away something from this session, which I hope so. No. Very silent. No more questions. Okay, so that's all for today. It looks like.
Okay, if we don't have any other questions, we have a few moments if anyone would like to perhaps leave a message in the chat, or even just a takeaway, as Mariana was saying. Otherwise, we can
Thank
close.
you, Kieran, Carol. Students 14, 18 years old. Well, yes, I mean, the same. Of course, these are resources that I use with my students because I teach primary mainly and middle schoolers. But the techniques are the same. I mean, I don't know, if you are covering some history or literature topics, then you find interesting pictures on the internet to elicit knowledge, information from that pictures, and then you ask them to do a presentation, to search things on the internet. I mean, these are the techniques that you can use nearly with any resource you find online. And CLIL, I mean, CLIL, it's kind of everywhere, really, because we can talk about history, we can talk about global issues, we can talk about environmental issues, civics, mindfulness. I mean, anything can become CLIL. You have all the resources there for you. It will really, believe me, it saves a lot of time in planning when you have these resources that are very colorful, intense. But yes, the time you will spend searching for the resources, What I can of course recommend is that you keep your list of good links and good resources that you find on the internet. Thank you, Elisa. Useful. Okay, that's your takeaway. Thank you. I try to keep it simple, and as I said, I did it on a Jamboard, because as you see, a Jamboard is a very, how can I say, simple and also efficient resource to use in the class, because children can collaborate. It doesn't take a lot of time, just a link. I know that, for example, in my case, the one who was asking about 1418, personally, I think that children, students of that age, would be allowed to use internet in the class with their own devices, and you monitoring and facilitating the discussion. Hopefully we will see that soon in our classes. I think internet is great. But it needs a lot of filtering. Yes, that's for sure. Anyone else? No. Well, Nives, I think we are done.
Okay, well, if there's no one else with any comments or questions, we're very early, but we can close the session if we like. So we would like to, on behalf of TESOL Italy, I would like to thank Mariana and all the participants for taking part in this session. The next session will be at 10 a.m. Certificates of attendance will be available to download from the website at the end of the convention. So thank you again. Thank you, everyone. And Regia can take it from here.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone.
You said that the road to happiness was long and winding. You said that the forest would get dark, and that the ground could shift here upon this hill we're climbing. No matter how close we get, we're still so far. But I trust we'll find the clearing. I'm trusting the trail. No matter what we're feeling, there's one way we can't fail. Let's just keep hiking. Let's plant our feet. Let's just keep hiking. Keep hiking with me. Hold my hand, baby. Keep hiking with me. You said the road up to success was an impossible test unless we had some sort of map. And I could feel it in my chest just as our feet begged us to rest. I think this just might be the end of that, but I said I trust we'll find